Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'd love to share this reading journal that I made for 2026. I've never kept a reading journal before, so this will be my first time attempting to keep track of what I read. I decided to go with an 8x8 square. I never made one before, and I really like this size. I'm surprised, but I do like it a lot. So before I do a flip through, there are a couple of YouTube links in the description box below. One of them goes to JashiiCorrin, who she created a video with all kinds of ideas that you can keep in a reading journal, and it helped me a lot because I had no idea what I wanted to do. And the second link is to Manda, whose 2025 reading journal was pirate themed, and she went all out with it. I absolutely loved it, so I decided, yeah, I want to go all out too. So this is my version of going all out, at least for this year, for 2026. And I decided to go with a kind of medieval vibe and lace feel, because why not? I have no idea why, but that's what came to my head, so I decided why not. So let me open it up. Okay, hopefully it all fits. I believe it does. So here's a pocket. I put my reading goals here only because I didn't want to dedicate a whole spread to it. I really don't have reading goals except for maybe about two. One being I'd like to read every day, at least half an hour. I think that's doable. I should be able to do that. Number two, I actually want to keep up with this journal. I spent a lot of time making it, and I'd love to actually fill it out and see what it looks like by the end of the year. The third one, it's not really so much as a goal as it is a reminder. I'd love to create a map of tropes like my own. I've seen some other YouTubers do that, and I absolutely love the way it looks. So this right here, this is for later on, so I'll pull this aside. So this is my, the title page, I suppose. And disclaimer, I decided to change my titles as well. So instead of just calling it a reading log, I called it something else. I try to make it sound kind of medieval like, but know that it's not a historically accurate translation of what it would sound, or what it would sound like. I made it up. I just wanted it to sound medievally. That's it. So this is my tome of books read. Good enough for me. But here I did a frame. This frame here I colored in. I'm not sure how well you can see, but I did the same kind of faux illuminating coloring throughout the journal, especially with the titles of all my spread. So like this one here, this is called the Register of Matters. It's actually my table of contents. I just want to keep track of what kind of spreads I have in here, and then I'll have my January through December layouts. I don't really need to fill in each block for each month, but I'll just January to December, and I'm hoping at the end of the year I'll have some blank pages where I can put some stats, because I will be keeping track of my books that I read in Storygraph, so I can refer back to them for pages read, dates, and stuff like that. So I'm hoping at the end I'll have more stats, but for right now I didn't want to do too much because I didn't want to overwhelm myself. So table of contents hopefully will help me out. So the next spread is called The Scholar's Judgment. This is where I will keep track of each book I read. So there's a space for numbering and title / the author, and then my rating. For my ratings, it's pretty simple. I'm just going by if I was entertained or not. That's it. It's nothing too scientific. I really don't care how well the story was made. I just want to know how entertaining it was to me. I do tend to read a lot of light novels that's been translated from other languages, especially Korean, and the translation's a bit rough, but I end up loving the story anyways. So again, it's just my own personal how I feel about the book. I don't know how many books I'm going to read, so I made sure I had more than enough space for every book that I will be reading through 2026. The next spread is the Librarium. It's the bookshelfy. I absolutely love bookshelfy spreads. They're my favorite. Every time I look at someone's reading journal. I just love to see how creative people can get with this. So I decided to make my shelfie as a horizontal spread here. I think there's about 83 spots for books, so I decided not to finish decorating this. I left the top undecorated because I might do a tip-in with more space for books if I run out. I can read anywhere from 5 to, over 100 books a year, and I don't want to run out of space. So I left this top blank. So we'll see as the year goes on if I need to add more space or not. But bookshelfie, one of my favorite spreads. Absolutely love it. So this is the chronicle of the series. It's basically a series tracker. I don't have any series to import, so I just left it completely blank. But I'm hoping that as I start to read, this will be a spot where I keep track of series I really want to read. I'm not a fan of stark white pages, so hopefully as the year goes on, this starts to get filled up. That'll make me happy. But we'll see. I'm not exactly sure how I want to keep track. If I just want to write it down in like a list form or do something else, I'm not sure. So I'll get back to this page once I kind of figure out what I really want to do. And then this is the Chronicle of Authorship. This is basically like the log of books an author has written, their backlog of books. There are very few authors I come across that I absolutely love their writing style, and it's one of those I need to read everything they've written kind of situation. This will be for that. I already have 2 authors in mind, so hopefully starting in January I can start to fill this out. But I don't think I'll need too much space, but you never know. So this right here, this is the Scroll of Intentions page, and it's really for upcoming releases. I tend to read most of my books in either physical form or in like a Kindle digital. I tried audio, and I'm not too a big fan of a lot of the voice acting. It's a bit rough for me, so I tend to stick with physical and Kindle, but I mean, you never know. Maybe I'll give it another shot. Who knows? But when books are coming out, I forget. I completely forget. So this is for me, definitely so I can remind myself when books are coming out, space for title, author, and the date. This is the Turning of the Tomes. So it's the book bracket, but done in the matrix style. So there's going to be 12 spaces for the favorite books. Not really monthly, because there might be a month where no book was necessarily a favorite. So as I read books and I know there'll be definitely a contender, I have a spot here to put their name, and each book will battle every other book, and you'll calculate how many times each book won, and that winner will get the book cover here on this frame that I colored in, and it'll pretty much live there forever. So I'm looking forward to the Turning of the Tomes, but again, this is one of those spreads I probably won't get filled out until December. Ooh, the A to Z challenge. Okay, this is kind of like a twofold challenge here. So it is A to Z. Every book that I read, I'm going to catalog based on the first letter of the first word of that book, not including articles. So A, N, and the do not count for filing. And what I'll do is as I read them, I'll put them in here. And at the end of the year, I'll go ahead and calculate which letter had the most books for that letter. And then this page spread here will be dedicated to that letter. And I'll pick my favorite amongst that letter that won, and I'll, do a frame for it here and probably print out a book cover for it as well. So again, this is something that probably happen way at the end of the year. So this is the Treasury of Utterances. It's just a quotes page. I'm not too big on quotes, but I have come across quotes that just kind of live in my head. I was like, hey, that was really good. And so what I'm going to do is keep track of them here. Oops, sorry about that. Camera shut off. No idea why it does that. Basically, I'm just going to keep quotes here that I come across that I really enjoy. Or what I could do to play, a game for myself for future me is, especially like some of the smaller squares, I'll maybe just put the book and a page number so I can refer back and try to figure out what on earth I was thinking when I did that. I made enough space. I don't even think I'll fill this up, but I have another spread just in case I, come across more quotes. If not, I'll probably just glue that down. So we'll see. So for this, sorry, it came off. So for this is my game of squares. I was originally going to do a bingo, and so this was going to be my bingo area. And so I wrote all the prompts, all 25 of them here, and I took this idea from Manda made as well. She did her prompts and then she hid them behind like a washi, but this washi is really cheap and it keeps coming off, but I mean, whatever, it's okay. And so the idea was to do my bingo, but I didn't want to just, be satisfied with like a bingo or two. I want to fill the whole thing up. That's my goal. And so I decided I'll just call it the game of squares, and what I'll do instead is I'll cut up an image into sticker paper. So say if I did secret societies and it correlates to D1, I can stick this down into D1, and then eventually all 25 squares will reveal the image. That's my goal. I'm really hoping that out of everything I do, this one gets completed. I will be so sad if December comes and goes and I did not complete this. So at the very least, 25 books have to be read. And for myself, one book for one prompt. I can't double up on like the prompts and books and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to see how this goes. All the prompts, some of them, I'm pretty sure I'll get through easily. Some of them are not, things I read or tropes I read or categories of books I read. So this should be interesting to see what happens. And so that's where this comes into play. I didn't leave space when I made these spreads to write which book corresponded to which prompt. So that's what I did here. So I just filled it out A1 all the way down to E5. That way I can know which book belonged to what prompt. So I keep this in the front of the book. So again, my favorite. I hope I really finish this. I'm going to be so sad if I don't, but we'll see. So this is the abandoned manuscripts spread. As you can see, there are all these manuscripts. Some of them are on fire because they're so bad. And it's okay. This is my DNF spread. I don't DNF a horrendous amount of books a year, but I will DNF a book if I'm just not feeling it. Or it's just not for me, and I'll DNF it at any point. I don't really care. I don't think I'll DNF this many, so I'm really going to just keep track of what the book was, who the author was, and kind of like a sentence or two of why I DNF, because honestly, I'll probably forget. But I made hopefully enough space so I can keep track of all my DNFs. Again, I am not afraid. I'm not afraid to get rid of books I don't have time to read. And the last spread I am keeping track of is called the Year's Mosaic, which is just a year in pixels. And it's done horizontally, so all the months are on this side, the days this way. Again, one of my goals is to read 30 minutes every day, so hopefully this entire thing is filled out. If not, that's okay too. So I have the rest of all of these pages here to be spreads, monthly spreads, maybe some book reviews. I don't think I'll do, a whole page for every book. Not going to happen. Probably at least half a page per book. If I really like the book, I'll probably do a full spread. And if I really, really, really love the book, I'll probably do a double spread. So we'll see. I'm hoping that I have enough space for January through December. Do the rest of these. And in the back, I was hoping that I can do some like end of the year stats, all the pages read and all kinds of charts and stuff like that. But at the end of the year, I am keeping all the books that I've read in Storygraph, so I do have information that I can refer back to for that, so I'm not too worried about making those spreads right now. I'll do them later. So that's pretty much it. Again, I'm really hoping that I, keep on top of this. It was so fun to make. I really love the theme, and I do like how it came out, even though it's riddled with errors everywhere. I'm okay with that, and it's my own personal reading journal. I hope this inspired you to create a journal if you've never done one before. This sounds like so much fun. I will be updating probably after the month is over. So within a week or two, I'm hoping of the next month I can update you on what the journal is looking like, with the spreads being filled. And between those videos, I will be doing more, creating more journals of the other kind of journals I like to make, like the, I call them creative journals. And those will be the videos in between these reading journal videos. So thank you so much for stopping by. I hope this inspired you, and I will see you soon.